Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Llauryn Hendricks.
And it's your girl, Goddess Giselle.
And welcome back to Only Friends. And this is our second episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you for coming to Only Friends podcast and, episode 2. So we're excited to be here tonight and really just continue our conversation. And if you're new here, be sure to share, like, and subscribe. This is a podcast featuring us where we talk about New World thoughts, okay?
And hit that thumbs up.
Hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, share the content, put it wherever you want to put it because, honey, we got to get the word out, all right?
Okay. Support and love, baby.
Yes.
I thought you was clicking on something, so I don't know.
I am. I don't know what's going on. It's good. We're good.
Okay, cool. So this is a topic that personally for me coming from an experience of like we were saying we're springing off like the whole social thing. And you know how we went through the pandemic and whoever you was locked in that house with, that's who you was locked in the house with.
Yep.
I was locked in the house by myself and it was not fun and I got bored. Like really, really, really bored. I mean, I did like do create content and, do some things, but it was just kind of like, I was alone, you know what I mean? And it was weird, coming from being a very social person to being in the house just by yourself, not really being able to go nowhere, do nothing. So I just really want to touch on how I'm not saying it's about how society makes it seem like it's okay for us to be these lonely things. And it has, like they said, we're going into this century where we're going through this thing where AI and all this stuff is taking over. And like I said, it can destroy us because of the social effects of it. And, we don't have to go out the house. We don't have to leave for nothing if we don't want to. But it's nice the fact if I'm going to do that or be in that state, I like having a companion or somebody there. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was one of those girls, especially when that summer got hot with, I was like F-boy free. Hey, I was in there. But realistically, every day, I went home, I was by myself and alone and mad for real. And I feel like being in the house like that and just going home by yourself, it made me angry. And that's really what I want to talk about is that Black girl anger that causes from us saying we don't need a man, but at the same time in our subconscious, knowing that we do want one. We want a man. We want to be in love. We want that. That's natural. That's how the earth rotates. There's no bird that doesn't have another bird, So every species has somebody. And it's just a natural thing for us. And that's what I'm talking about socially.
Yeah, and I thank you for opening that conversation, that dialogue, because being vulnerable and talking about how your personal experience was during the pandemic, like that's real. So I also want to just raise awareness, guys. I know personally, I feel like society been trying to act like the pandemic never happened. Everybody just going back to their own regularly scheduled programming. But no, we're going to talk. We're going to wake up the dialogue and honor and talk through what we all experienced in 2020, which was an entirely different, it was brand new, something no one ever experienced. It was crazy. And there were a lot of lost lives. There was a lot of mistrust and just a lot of energy. And I'm not going into detail, but let's just say that 2020 was a lot happened in 2020, And, me personally, I am married. I'm happily married and I've been married for 4 years now. We're coming into our 5th year of marriage. And so I want to put that on the record because we're talking about relationships. So I am married, but before I got married, I was single. And like, honestly, my husband was really my first boyfriend, like my first serious boyfriend. And we got married because I knew that we were supposed to be together and he did too. So he is my first boyfriend. And I say that on the record because outside of my husband, I never really looked at dating how I look at it now. And I think in our community, we're not really conditioned to, raised up to be, I'm not, okay, let me say, this is not.
We can talk from our perspectives because we both have strong, independent women.
It's open because it's not, it's hard to, everyone got their own perspective. You're right, Llauryn, because like I was raised in the house I was raised by, it was very patriarchal in which my grandfather ran everything. And, some families are matriarchal in which the woman tends to take the charge and take the lead. So both of those have different impacts on the people in that household.
Right.
But now we're moving toward more whereas the voice of the man and the voice of the woman work together so that both parties can ascend and go up. So it's just totally different. You know what I'm saying? And I do think, Llauryn, like what you were saying, in our community, the community of the Native Americans or Native Black Americans, people who were born and raised in America, there are a lot of gaps in development, is what I think. And I do like to honor my heritage. So my father is Nigerian, I'm American, but I grew up in an American household, okay? Right. My mom was from North Carolina, and I grew up in an American home. And so I feel like there's a lot of stages of life, and this is a bigger picture now, so we're going to get off these relationships, but let's open it up. In our community, we are not we have not, because we're going to say in the past, weren't able to develop into these different stages of life. And when we are robbed of certain stages of life, then you won't see the value or need for a life partner, right? If you have not necessarily graduated to the next level or the next phase of life. So that's so deep, and I didn't mean to be that deep, but
it's the truth, because like you were saying, like for me, from an emotional state, like, I've always been the girl that had a boyfriend for, so my relationships always been relationships that I had for years that ended up with some kind of engagement circumstance, but realistically, I don't know if it was emotionally that I just didn't want to be that lonely woman. And then when I finally broke free of, that, I guess, that need of not wanting to be that lonely woman, I think I became too independent.
Gotcha.
In the first place. Like, I really became too independent. And it's not, okay, so what I mean by too independent, no, yes, you need to keep a roof over your head. Yes, you need to be a boss lady and get yourself done, get things done. That's the difference between your emotional state. Please go get it. It's in my Amazon store. But your emotional state as a Black woman, because we are forced to put on all these roles. And when you're a single Black woman, you have to be the man, the woman, the everything all in one. But realistically, we shouldn't have to be all those situations all in one. And that's why I say I'm a true believer of a relationship. At first, I really had got comfortable with the fact that I probably was going to be by myself for the rest of my life. I was literally just serial dating. I literally was serial dating. I was like, whatever. You know what I mean? I was like, he cute, but I always had some kind of reason why I didn't want to be in a relationship with somebody. A guy could be liking me and want to be with me, and I just be like,
yeah,
he too clingy. He likes me too much. And that's the weirdest thing ever a woman can say if a man like you too much.
Like what is that?
You like me too much, and it's weird in those circumstances with life. It's like, how could you say that? Like, that doesn't make sense, because when a guy act like it's weird, because when I was in relationship, my last big serious relationship I was before I'm in this one, because I am in a serious relationship. Me and my boyfriend do cohabitate together, so it's like, realistically, it's like you married already, because the rules and laws and regulations of certain things are already applying. And I'm not gonna lie, he has helped me become a better woman when it comes to knowing my position as a woman. You know what I mean? He let me be myself.
I will say, Llauryn, as a married woman, like married and married are not the same. And I want my sisters to know this and read this and see this.
That's true. True.
You either married or you're not. And it's not totally different. There's nothing like being married versus like marriage. And I think my sisters, particularly the ones who look like me and you, if you desire marriage too, because I know we're in a different timeline, so some women don't desire that.
You don't even desire it. That's how I had gotten.
What if you do? Know that you are not married until you are married.
And that was another problem that I did, because when I was in that serious relationship before, just because I had that ring on my finger did not mean that I was married. That was a engagement ring promising to get to that point, and it was just a trap. It was a trap to keep me to do wifely duties without being a wife.
And that is not what we condone on this channel. We do not.
At all.
We're gonna, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And JT just came out with a rap about no bars, and she's like, you doing all this wifey ish, and he ain't all this. She had a good bar about that.
And, I love that song too, because I was listening to it.
Let's not play delusional. That's called delusion.
That's not cute. And that's not cute.
Like in the culture on TikTok right now, like the girls are like, oh, I'm delulu about it. You could be delusional, but I want you to know in reality what it is. You know what I'm saying? So if you're watching this,
it's not cute.
Watching this and you're triggered by anything we're saying so far, because this is definitely a touchy subject. We just want you to know that we are here for you and we support you and we do value you, because this is what this is really about. We are here, or I'm gonna speak, we're here to center women, center yourself. Okay. That's why you have that emotional self-care. Everything is about centering yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself for someone, if you should desire to go into a relationship with someone. Because when we don't center ourselves, we deplete ourselves of ourselves
and put our energy in negative circumstances,
or you give it away for free when that person didn't even ask you for it. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's what I was going to touch on, like how, you know what I mean? Like it would be the people that the guy that treated me the worst be the ones that I actually was like, okay. And that's kind of weird. Like, you know, the one that's nice is not.
It's social conditioning. This is what you were talking about earlier with the music and art and Native American culture. It's in the music. It's music. Music teaches some women to go for the bad guy, the guy who don't treat you right. But let me tell y'all, we in a new earth, and this is a new timeline. We're on new thoughts, because that energy does not work in this world that we're in now. And back to what you were saying, Llauryn, about how we're in the new, you know, everything's different. We're now in a fifth dimension, and basically what that means, well, not everybody, but anyway, our planet is going through an ascension.
Yeah.
We were in a 3D world that was based off of fear.
Yep.
Now we're ascending to a 5D world that's based off of love. And so when Llauryn brought up partnership and how, you know, being at home during the pandemic was really hard, and it brought up a lot of these different feelings, that is because the planet decided that Mother Earth, was ready to go to the love frequency. Period. Right. She said, listen, if you a hater, if you're toxic, if you're eating horrible, if you can't stand the sun, if you're not natural, if you don't enjoy and appreciate nature, then you're going to have a hard time on my planet now, because she's decided to take her power back. So, Llauryn, what you're talking about is 100% facts. And it's really about love and self-love.
Exactly, self-love. Exactly. And that's something you have to know how to do. If you can't love yourself, you can't expect to get treated or be loved correctly by somebody that deserves you. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't. And I'll tell my story of like whatever, when my primary caregiver, my grandmother, when she transitioned in 2015, that is when my whole world, I had to really examine my world and my life. And I just had to do a lot of like time with myself. And I went to therapy in this time. So this was years ago, but still I went to therapy. And, you know, I really did some soul searching, because I'm like, dang, Giselle, like I had to go through some stuff, right? And then that was 2015. And then in 2016, I got on the path of self-love. So that's when it started for me personally and intentionally. I was like, okay, I got to center Giselle. I started making enough money, like good money, to where I could keep my hair done and, you know, go out to eat every night, like nice restaurants, paying all the bills. So that was like a very empowering time for me personally. I was probably like 26 or 27. And I was just like, I had started getting in my career. And then I was like, okay, I really went on my own personal journey back to myself with love. It was all about self-love. I did not look out of myself for the love that I was seeking. I was like, girl, I got to go in. I got to really like love myself. And it took some time, literally like a year and a half. I even adopted a cat, which he right there. But I got a cat because I wanted to bring more love into my life. I started having plants. I started like taking care of plants. And I was like, okay, this feels good. Like, I love this little cat. I love these plants. Then I started thinking about the stuff I actually enjoyed. And the energy was just so high. I was in my feminine. I was feeling so good. And then I went through a phase and I was just like, I had no care. I got into it with my sister. Like, we be doing that. Nowadays, we cool. But it was really, it was just wounds that we had to peel off. So one time, me and my sister got into it. And when we got into it, it really just crushed me because I was like, dang, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, I knew what I was supposed to be doing, but I felt so hurt because this is somebody I love, like my sister. I love her. But she didn't have enough love to give to me. You see what I'm saying? Right. She was going through her own stuff. Like, we all fighting demons or...
See, and that's what people have to understand too. You have to sometimes realistically, if it's real love and real friendship, y'all can get into it. Y'all can separate. But when y'all do come back together, if it's real, it's not gonna matter. It's just because like you have to realize everybody's going through something.
Everybody's going through something. Have compassion for your family and for your friends because it's not about you. So when me and my sister went to it, I came back to Atlanta and then I was, like I was still in therapy and then I had met this one therapist. We had a good session. And then at that time, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to be a wife.
Right.
I spoke it into the universe and I'm a manifester. Like, I am a powerful manifester. I said, I'm ready to be a wife. And kid you not, y'all, like friends, that's what we're going to call y'all. Kid you not, like friends, like within 30 days, I manifested my now husband.
Right.
But y'all, and then people be seeing like this part of my story, right? Like, cause I'm in my soft girl era. I love like everything. But guess what?
No, I remember Gigi that was like, who cares or care? Who cares about them?
You were there.
You used to tell me all the time. Okay, so I was the crybaby a little bit because I used to couldn't understand things. Like, why are people just so mean? What is it? I'm so nice to people. What is going on? I don't understand. And Gigi be like, Llauryn, get hard. What are you talking about? Shake it off. Like,
I've been doing this empowerment stuff since day one, y'all. Like, I promise I'm not fake.
She used to pull me in the locker room. Llauryn, get it together.
Like, girly, I'm a girl's girl for real. Even like in the culture that's going trending now, like, y'all don't be caring about y'all friends for real. Like, y'all care a little bit. But let a bitch come around who's really pretty, really this, really that. Y'all be throwing shade first. And that's not how we do around here because we saw
I love beautiful women. I love empowered women. Sure, you do better than me. Teach me. I want to know.
Like, it's really like, everybody, no hater. And so when I decided to love myself, that's when I attracted my husband. So the message was love yourself. And when you love, the more you love yourself, the bigger your frequency will become, and the more you'll magnetize what you want.
It's that gravitational pull, that pulls you towards, that pulls the natural things to you, and that's what I love.
Nice.
Manifestation journal.
Love that.
Y'all need to get it. It's in my Amazon thing too. It's like
and we're gonna put that in this chat or in this episode. So Llauryn, let me ask you this because you kind of have both sides. So like, what is something or a tip of advice that you can give to our friends watching who may find themselves crazy in love with someone or, just trying to work through those emotions that they may have with a significant other. And maybe they're trying to make it happen, but it's just not working out. Like, what kind of advice or encouragement can you give to our friends watching who may just need to figure out how to love themselves outside of a significant other? Because Llauryn, I think you found your power in that alone time to now be able to attract relationships that are better for you. But you have to be fearless to be in a relationship. And I said, Llauryn, this girl kept a boyfriend for many years, not just one or two. Like, she would have a boyfriend 5-6 years, this, that. One of her, too much information. Some ex-boyfriend from middle school be on TV one day, and I'm like, what? Like, this somebody like she dated when we were like 12 or high school or whatever. So it's like Llauryn has always kept a relationship. So what is some advice you can give some of our friends? Because that's
my advice for you, especially like you said, if you want to be in a serious relationship with somebody and you really care about them, you have to sit back, honestly. One day, this is what I used to do. I used to go take long walks on the Beltline and literally listen to my own thoughts. I mean, I cleared my mind of negative stuff, and I used to go and like kind of pray and say, like, take the negative things out of my brain and listen to myself and how I felt about somebody truly. Because sometimes, like she said, you could be blinded by so many things, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie, like I tell people all the time, and that we're in this new world of, you know, situations and glam and fashion and love, you know, all that kind of stuff. I will say this. One thing I always realize is money can be made. Y'all can make it together. You don't understand that bond that y'all put together can create the monument of money, and that mound of money that you want, that empire that you want, can be the purpose of you're missing that link that could create that for you. So yes, it is great to have a man that has drive and energy and want to do something. But at the same time, you have to realize like that's not everything for a man to already have it. You get what I'm saying? So that was something I had to realize too, because, you know, when you go through certain situations and things, that was the first thing I got tired of. I got tired of taking care of myself completely without the intimacy. You get what I'm saying? I was loving work. And then you have to literally take a list and think of all the things of why you love that person, why you love yourself. What do y'all, and then in the middle, you need to have a list of things that y'all complete together. Like, what do you have? What do you like that y'all share? Is it that y'all can be goofy together? Do you like the intimacy? Do you like, I'm talking about intimacy aside of sex. I'm talking about like y'all being able to be in the same room. And it's like, nothing else matters. Y'all being able to just adventure, that person loving who you are through your ups and downs. If you gain 5 pounds, he ain't gonna get mad at you, or 10, or you know, things like that. There are so deeper than just physical things that you can see, you know, and that's what real love is beyond the physical. And that's why I say in that middle column, because I'm be honest with you, like, me and my dude went through ups and downs, but the thing about it is what made me stick around and still hold, because old Llauryn was like new one, you know. But if you do that center column and see what makes y'all good together in the middle, like what do you bring to the table to him to make him better? What do he bring to the table to make you better? Like, it's all those things like that that allows you to understand and align with the situation of whether this is for you or is not. Because if you're putting more in the table in that box than he's putting in that box, it does not make sense.
True.
And like I said, I'm not talking about finances. I'm talking about emotional, mental. Those things, the connection, those things are so important, because if you really think that you can spend the rest of your life with somebody, y'all need to have some kind of friendship, because that dude down there, that's my best friend. That is like one of my close friends. He has to be your friend. I like that we can go somewhere and just do goofy stuff together, just because I'm goofy, he goofy. If I do a weird dance, because everybody know I can't dance.
Okay.
He gonna laugh at me and do his goofy dance too. That's just the way it is. And that's what you have to realize, like, is acceptance of yourself, to be yourself, and the fact that the man who you choose to be with or choose to be in love with, who chooses you too, that you can be your true self with. That's what it is.
All right, Llauryn, you better teach and preach, honey. Thank you. And I appreciate you saying that, because it's important. And that we also want to create, you know, obviously we're speaking from our perspective. So we are women who are with men, but obviously all friends are welcome. So this information relates to any partner or any one that you want to be your number one or be your person. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to everyone across the spectrum. We are all love here. This is all our friends. We friends with whoever, whenever, whatever. Okay. Now for me, and I want to share my 2 cents too, because like I said, I'm learning a lot in my marriage that I just had no clue about. And it's just been it's been a beautiful journey. And it just keeps
I know. I was so happy.
It's just so like, oh my God, I don't want to get too personal, but anyway, so I do want to happy. Yeah, like I'm in my, like, these are my best years, and I'm so grateful. But I want to mention that it took me taking care of Gigi. Like, I had to go in myself to bring out who I wanted to be in this world. You see what I'm saying? So I got two things that I think are like instrumental. Number one, lock and key. So if you are a man and a woman, the woman is the lock.
Yep.
The man is the key.
Exactly.
I'm talking to my women here. If you're watching this show and let's just say you're like us, so you might be a businesswoman, you might have big dreams. Let's just say that you got big dreams and aspirations and all that, and you've done things in your life that you're proud of, right? But there's that one thing that you still looking for or you want, and that's a relationship, a healthy relationship. Because remember, we in the love frequency. So just like Andre 3000 said, everybody needs somebody to love before it's too late. That album, go back and listen to that. It's The Love Below. It was literal. We're in the timeline where if you don't get love, it's going to be too late. Everybody needs somebody to rub their elbows, scratch their, rub their shoulders. Everybody needs somebody to love. That's the whole song. Again, I'm an artist, so I love art. I like to use art to like
exactly.
But like, listen, women are the key. I mean, women are the lock. Men are the key. You will know when that man, and I'm not even talking about sex, I'm talking about his energy will unlock you. Okay. A lot of us, I'll say a lot of women, we keep a very, imagine yourself as a lock. And somebody could put a key in, but what's inside of the lock is dark, it's the unknown, it's the void. That's the feminine. The feminine is very dark, it's unknown, it's like a whole universe inside of our lock, right? But when the right man come into your life, that thing will be unlocked. Like if he has the key to your lock, you will know. You won't think twice about it, and your energy will change completely because
that guard goes down, baby.
You'll be like, because like you'll be like this the whole time, like the NPC folks, like you're like sleep, and then when the right guy come into your life, his energy, you be like, where am I? I love you. I don't care about nothing else going on in my life. Let's do this. You will have no fear about anything. And I know a lot of people talk about money. They talk about like family status, how many kids they want to have, where they're going to live, all this stuff, these things. But when the right man come in your life, it will literally unlock you. And the real you will be able to come out and just be.
And so a lot of stuff won't even matter no more.
Yes, that's what Llauryn said earlier. She's like, be your friend, be yourself, like friendship. But mainly, you won't be afraid to be who you really are. So society just washes away, and it's just me and you. Okay, so that's number one. And number two, respect. Respect is everything. And if you don't have any self-respect, then it'll be hard to be in a relationship with someone because, it ain't no respect. The respect level is at 0. So if you struggle with respect and self-respect, look into that. Look on TikTok. You can do a search, like tap into your version of respect because respect goes a long way.
It does. And it is me being acting bougie. No, I'm saying like it's a totally different perspective.
Respect yourself. And what did Aretha Franklin say? RESPECT. Like respect is everything. So if you don't have no self-respect, and let me give an example of self-respect. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're on the internet, like begging for something and willing to take whoever, whatever for it. And this is publicly on the internet, for example, or like you're begging for attention, like begging. I ain't talking about doing business. I'm talking about literally like every single day doing stuff to try to get a response out of people. It's like you might not respect yourself enough. Or if you let people disrespect you, like call you out your name, treat you bad, even poop, like just make you feel like crap. And you like, well, they do me like that, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's not. You got to have some respect for yourself and walk away from anything that no longer serves you. So my self-respect level, it grows every day. And I'm sure, Llauryn, you can agree. The more you go through in life, the more respect you're going to have for yourself. Because you
you do. Because like, you really do start really, because like you can respect yourself to a certain level and extent. But I feel like every time you get to a certain level of respect, you're going to get tested to see if you can go to the next level. Because things are going to be thrown at you left and right. And I will say this, it was a lot of things that I've seen other people do, being that I was in the industry. Well, I'm in the industry. Being that I'm in the industry, I've seen people do things and be a certain way. And I'm not going to lie. it does bother you in your head. I'm like, well, she get this lovely lifestyle, but she's being this way. Should I be this way? Because that's what it looks good. But everything is not for everybody. Everybody's journey is different. So don't judge what their journey is about what your journey is. You get what I'm saying? So you can't do that. Like, it don't work like that. And that's when I feel like when you start questioning your own perseverance and what you need to do for yourself, that's when you lose a lot of respect for yourself.
There you go. Thank you, Llauryn. Because this is no judgment, but it's the key word is self. So earlier you talked about self-love. We talked about self-emotional self. Now we're talking about self-respect. All of this is really personal, and really can't nobody tell you your personal
perspective of how you're supposed to respect yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in a certain industry where it's like that's just how this how this go. You know what I mean? So, but that person and this person don't have the same level of self-respect because they're two different people. So we're moving into a world of one, meaning every person have their own set of rules and you follow them. But you'll know when you are disrespecting yourself because you personally will feel a type of way about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's beautiful. I love that, Llauryn. Like, we've been sitting here, we talked about relationships, we gave tips on love and happiness, and how music sometimes can perpetuate the single society, and it's just not
because what you realize, what you listen to over and over again, it really goes deep into your subconscious. That's why this is something I tell people to do. I know it might seem a little weird, but Apple Music has vibrations, and you can listen to vibrations when you go to sleep. I put my headphones in, my earpods in, and I listen to the vibrations. Like, they have like positivity vibrations, and it's all about vibing with the earth to come complete so that you can have manifestations of positive energy. I'm telling you, wake up in the morning like, and you don't even know why.
Yeah.
Because you listen to vibrations because you came whole with something. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot, and I need to, like, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't done it in like maybe a week, but I have noticed a difference in my attitude. I'm still happy, but that it's that ungroggy happiness when you wake up in the morning. I want to get up. I want to keep moving. It naturally pushes you to do that.
Nice. So Llauryn, if you could share, we'll share a link in the description of this podcast episode so you guys can check that out for yourself. Because that sounds dope. I'm all for that. I think that's really cool to share that resource with everyone because we're all about high frequencies, high vibrations, and I got cats climbing things, and we want to help you guys.
I was like, I saw Sydney go that way. I'm like,
they over here in partnership, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's two of them. Oh, and one more thing before we leave. Another thing I did, I was in a loft, but y'all, this is also feng shui. I had two of everything in my apartment, in my loft. That's something else you can do, ladies. If you live alone or if you're trying to manifest a partner or a man, a husband into your life, create space as if he's already there. I had 2 placemats, 2 beds, 2 computers, 2 TVs, 2 couches, 2 pillows. You know what I'm saying? 2 setups on my bed. Everything was a table for 2. You know what I'm saying? So that's a feng shui thing you can do to like set up your space, because if you got 1 chair, 1 bowl, especially if you're shopping, like for dishes and stuff, you want to get 2 of everything. Like, get 2 bowls, 2 cups, 2 knives, 2 forks. Don't just get 1, because you're telling the universe, oh, it's just me. It's just me. And it won't be you for long if you do the energy work and create space for many. And Llauryn, I heard, yes, and I heard, your house needs to be a home before you start building out your family, because you just do. You know what I'm saying? Already think as if, act as if. So, ladies,
as if. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm glad that you hit that on the head, because that was one of my problems. Why, in my relationship at first I had issues, is because I'm sitting here saying that I want to be with somebody seriously, but I wasn't necessarily acting as if. Because what people don't understand is, yes, when you're single, you're single. And what I mean by that is, like, yes, you can date around and do all that or whatever if you're not planning on trying to be with somebody seriously. When you really seriously am liking somebody and you want to be in a serious relationship with them, you act as though you want that serious relationship. Because one thing I know that I've learned, don't no man want to feel like everybody can have what he values. And that's just a personal opinion, a personal thing I've learned. You know, people like, well, you singles, you can still date. Yeah, you can. But at the same time, I just feel like it's certain levels to the situation. If you see this man as somebody that you want to be in a full relationship with, you have to act as though you want to be in a full relationship with him.
Yep. And there's a lot of coaches on TikTok and online who women coaches who really dive into these topics. So if this interests you, please go do your own research, because it's a lot of resources.
Yeah, go do your own research, because people
look, sprinkle. There's a lot of information out there. Sprinkle for you to be able to learn more about the feminine, the art of the feminine.
Exactly. Read. I'm telling you, reading and looking at videos is fundamental. Do it.
Exactly. And one other thing you want to do is always, Llauryn said, act as if you and if you want to be a wife, then you need to already be a wife, even if you don't have a husband.
Exactly.
Even operating in that space. And again, this is for women who want to be married. I'm married, but everybody don't want to be married. But if you're watching this and you want to be married, then you want to present as if you are a wife, not a girlfriend, not a play, not a piece. And one thing I know about wives, and it's something I know personally because I'm, this is my life. This is where I'm at in life. And my grandmother's a wife. My mama was a wife. My sister was a wife. One thing I know about wives, and this is what they don't tell you, and then we ain't going to get biblical, but anyway, wives are about their business, okay? Because you're about your business. You're not going to let nobody play with you, play in your face, or play with you. So the same way we approach our schooling, like college and dreams and all that, if you're desiring marriage or you're desiring relationship, then you need to be mentally prepared and like really take yourself seriously if that's something that you desire, because that's what I've learned. I didn't realize it, but in my real life, I'm like, every woman I know who is, in relationship or married, they really about their business. Like, I saw a lady at Costco. We love Costco. Okay. She was
I'm about to go
with her son, with her baby on her hip, and her husband was like, they were checking out, and her energy, Llauryn, it was so like, she did not move out nobody's way. She took up a lot of space. She was unapologetic. Only person she cared about was herself, her child, and her husband. And I was like, she about her business.
Because you have to be. And that's what I've realized.
You gotta be about your business.
This is not play. See, I've met people, I even seen things like that in myself where people want to play married. Like you said before, you can't play that you want to be a wife. You have to know that you want to be a wife, because there's no play about that. This is life. Yep. So don't play about things like that, because somebody gonna end up getting hurt. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yep. And it's a lot, I'm fairly new to marriage. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I've been married 20, 30 years, but it's always levels, you know what I'm saying? And every year, every day, you just keep growing and getting better. So if you're watching this and you're a woman that's about your business, you write down your goals and you're very goal oriented and stuff like that. Treat your relationship status just as importantly as your job status. You know what I'm saying? Like, set your goals for yourself and then tap in, and then take some of this advice, do your research, and just really take it seriously, because you are the creator of your reality, so it's all on you. So with that being said, friend,
all right, y'all, so that's a wrap, and thank you for tuning in to Only Friends. I'm your girl Llauryn. Peace.
And I'm your girl Goddess Giselle. See y'all next time. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.
Thumbs up. Bye.